What's the best game ever?
Romance of the Three Kingdoms.
Journey.
2K.
Mario Kart.
Wario.
Mass Effect.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Madden.
Lego Indiana Jones 2: The Adventure Continues.
It's a hard question.
From arcade classics to first-person shooters, fighting games to RPGs, in each episode we'll take on a new genre. Will your favorite make the cut? No matter who you are, everyone has their favorite game, the one that stands out from the rest, the one they consider the best game ever. This episode, role-playing games.
Time's running short. I'm gonna go punch this mountain into space.
If size and scope are your thing, it's hard to get more bang for your buck than a role-playing game, or RPG. Whether you play them to crunch stat numbers, be told an epic, sweeping story, or just be someone totally unlike yourself, great RPGs hold special places in fans' hearts. One of the most beloved RPGs of all time is the thankfully inaccurately titled Final Fantasy.
So if you don't know anything about Final Fantasy, it's basically a series of role-playing games in which a group of intrepid adventurers must do something related to magic crystals to stop an evil force from destroying the land.
Why? People go, oh my gosh, it's so good. And I go, I don't believe you. I believe you're just riding a hype train and you're drinking a soup juice. That's not the case with Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy VI, it was known as Final Fantasy III here in the States. It was the first time I remember playing a game and going, why is the dude that's good with tools my favorite character I can play with in this game? The other great thing about Final Fantasy III and all of the old RPGs is they let you name your character. Like you'd start out the game and it'd be like, hey you.
Can you sign this?
No prob. I don't know, I miss that. You don't do that anymore.
Few things in this world are more misleading than the title Final Fantasy. We're up to 15. How can you have 15 finals? You can't. It's a lie.
While the misleadingly titled Final Fantasy franchise continues with no end in sight, another role-playing game illustrates how the end is just the beginning.
I think the best game ever is Fallout 3.
It originally started as an isometric tactical RPG. Then it evolved with Fallout 3 into more of a modern action RPG. It still had that rich character growth and progression that RPG fans love, but you could also play it basically as a first-person or third-person shooter if you so chose.
Fallout 3 is kind of based in this post-apocalyptic wasteland of Washington, D.C.
where fallout from nuclear bombs has ravaged the land, creating just a sort of a nightmarish hellscape.
And you're one of the lucky people that got to get into a vault and sort of escape the whole apocalypse. And then in sort of mysterious circumstances, you're kind of shoved back out into the world.
It was one of the first games that really emphasized a karma system and, you know, the importance of doing good and bad things.
Being a Canadian, I have to go the nice route and I have to like please everybody.
Thank you. I was one of those guys who liked to play bad.
The second time around, it's nice to kind of, you know, turn shade to my Canadian roots and blow up Megaton and just go a little crazy.
So in Fallout, there's this thing called VATS, the Vault-Tec Assisted Targeting System.
Which you can basically freeze time and you see little percentages on different parts of the body.
And it gives you targeted like headshot, or you can aim for the arm, you can aim for the chest, legs.
VATS is kind of your savior in Fallout. You know, when the action gets a little too fast, you run into a death claw, there is nothing more necessary than VATS.
You feel like Neo in the Matrix a little bit, and then when you unpause, you just see the mayhem unfurl.
If I had that in real life, that'd be awesome. Just for small things like throwing garbage in the trash from across the room, I'd take VATS all day.
Shepherding RPGs to a new level of personal customization, the Mass Effect franchise.
The Mass Effect series is just something that I can't get over how good that is. That needs to be a movie so badly.
The original trilogy, beautiful.
Over the years, I've grown used to the smell of burning bodies.
It's this amazing space opera by BioWare. It's an RPG.
You take on the role of Commander Shepard, this sort of leader of the human race who is tasked with basically saving the universe from this world-ending evil.
They're way advanced and unbeatable, so naturally you have to go beat them.
choosing your class and finding out if you want to be a super duper super awesome space wizard or a technomancer. What kind of gun do you want? A shotgun or you want to be an assault rifle guy? Maybe you don't even want guns because you're kind of a space Jedi and you can just be throwing balls around, pushing and pulling people because you're a bully and you got that Ezo going through you. You know what I mean?
The thing that I like about it is there's a sort of morality system. You can either be a paragon or a renegade. You can be a good guy or a bad guy. If you decide to go the evil route, you'll see that reflected even in your characters. He slowly looks increasingly evil.
You can create your own character. That's both physically, that's gender.
Male shep or femme shep. As much as I do want to be a woman, I tend to play male shep. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I want to be a space pimp. You know what I mean? What's up? What's up, girl? What you a sorry? I'll make you a sorry later. Call me.
I've cleared the engine room. I'll be there in 5 minutes.
One of the best parts of Mass Effect, as I'm sure if you ask anyone who's played it, is you can smooch pretty much anyone in the galaxy. There's certain characters you can't smooch. Krogans for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe I can cure them with my Wienerphage.
Maybe you are worthy.
You know, everybody who played Mass Effect was looking at Liara licking their lips like LL Cool J during a rap concert.
By the goddess, that was incredible, Shepard.
There's like all these basically like space malls pretty much kind of that you walk around in. And they all have these bars you can go to and you can go order yourself a drink and then go onto the dance floor and you do your one dance move. You just do this over and over again. But it's got a Mass Effect. Boom.
Wanna dance? Watch this.
No thanks. I'm happy with just me and the music.
While most role-playing games take you to faraway, exotic locales to play as exciting characters, the Dark Souls franchise promises that while it may be fun, it sure won't be easy.
Best game ever is Dark Souls.
Dark Souls is an action RPG that came out a few years ago and is notoriously one of the most difficult games ever made.
My friend told me, you're gonna die so many times.
I remember the first time I died.
I wasted like 16 hours, died like 6 times. I didn't enjoy it at all. I'm like, why are you playing it?
It's known for making people die, easily. If you ever want to play a drinking game, I'm not recommending this, by the way. We called it Drunk Souls. Every time you die, you take a shot.
Dark Souls is constant negotiation of terror.
You start out in a cell in an asylum, like the lowest possible point you could, and all that they really give you is sort of the background on how the world was made, like in the beginning the gods were whatever.
Witches moved to great firestorm.
And then they just basically tell you to go.
I've been wanting to play this game since I was 8 years old. The aesthetics, the mysteriousness, the way that it doesn't hold your hand. I love that game so much that if I'm trying to get to sleep, I will pretend that I'm playing Dark Souls. As I remember it, it sort of gently lulls me off to sleep.
Most video games make you feel stronger than you really are. Like if you walk into like a Final Fantasy or something, you're so much cooler than you are in real life. With Dark Souls, you walk into a room the way you would actually walk into a terrifying castle room.
If you were in a situation that's this terrifying, would you run into a room full of monsters? No.
You creep forward, you kind of like swing at stuff that, is this a trap? You'll like hit random things on the wall with your sword to see if like arrows will shoot out. If I woke up in a nightmare medieval fantasy world, that's what I would do. I would be so scared constantly. And to evoke that emotion in a player is powerful. That's awesome.
Wow. Somebody has made the game that I have been quietly designing in my head since I was a kid. Every single time I play Dark Souls 2, I forget that I've done the exertion noises for if you play the male character. So I'll just be pottering around, having a fight with somebody, and oh shit, I forgot about him. And I get killed, and then it's my voice. Oh yeah, that's me.
When your adrenaline is going in a game like that, and my goodness it does, and then you have a feeling of failure, that's really when you do want to whip a controller across the room.
If you look at the Dark Souls Reddit, like every few days, someone will say, Dark Souls has ruined every other game for me.
Thanks for watching. Did our picks hit max level? Or do we need to go back to killing rats in the basement?
World of Warcraft. I have a lot of feelings about paladins. They can be any specialization that they want. They can be a tank, a healer, a ret pally. They can do whatever. Pally bros.
Let us know in the comments what you think is the best role-playing game ever. Make sure to follow Best Game Ever on Facebook and share this episode with your friends.